Ghoul, PD, that Dream shouted out, the team that won the qualifiers, they're in 29th. Control Deck, 27th with Zamza. Like, these are big ticket teams that are currently not going to the global finals, and a couple of them are not even that close.
Yeah, Chow, Bling, CJ, Nobu, Spartan, 31st place overall with 27.2 points. They need a massive win here because you think about it, that average, that 15th place is 44.2 points with Team Flex holding on to that 11 points. So if you can manifest a 30-plus point win similar to what we had just witnessed from Team Echo, yes, it'll shoot you up the leaderboard, but you're gonna have to run it back and be even more consistent. I love this shot, right? You have Lenun and Co. Now we've got Echo. Now we've got Jamma. And you can see that we have a beautiful zone for our teams. It's not going to be heavy hitting one side, but Team Echo already running into a bit of trouble. Talked about hot stops. We're in one.
Yeah, it looked like about 60% of the lobby favor the south side, 40% the north side, but a very centrally located zone means that it could end anywhere, Tiff. So excited to see where everybody goes. I will shout out, by the way, somebody's got to put this clip on the timeline. Somebody go find it. I saw Shucks grab a full team wipe immediately with a helicopter. That harkens back to the Verdansk days of the chopper races. Like, get me those hospital races again, as Echo's gonna find a free one out in the open. Somebody find that clip. I gotta see that later. Creating some sushi on the timeline.
Oh, baby, I want to see that. Run it back, and Echo trying to get the Elim. Guns coming from the rear, pistoling them down, and now we have another squad looking to capitalize on that. And just like that, squad 49 going to fall, squad 50 taking home the remnants.
Yeah, it was an interesting fight there from Team Echo. I think we pushed for a kill because it looked free, but teammates were nowhere nearby. It's kind of one of those classic statements we talk about on main of like, might as well body stack. Where's your teammates? They spread out and were contested by two other teams. And yeah, it's just a tough situation to be in. They did not start well, but hey, maybe they win their gulags, they regain, they grab their loadouts, and they're going to be right back into it.
It's tough because they're only 14 points above 15th place. Not where you want to start your game number 5, but check it in with Showstopper, Ben, and Iran able to hit that buy station. But they do have a squad, team number 29 in the midst. That's going to be Pentagon. We were asking for a strong start from them. Can they make it happen?
Yeah, I think they can. I mean, they're currently sitting in 20th place, so they're poised in position to try to take top 15, but now's the time. They need a big map now in order to make their way into top 15, and then map number 6 will secure that. You can't have a flubbed map here because you'll likely drop to 25, 26, maybe even further down, and then you need a monster map, and that's when you start playing hyper aggro and taking 50-50s. Like, play consistent, play smart, win your early team fights like this one. Pentagon pushing the equation early, pushing out all the way to the gas station. Warding got the advances. This time, though, Kazar's there to help. They grab the early elimination. They've got player advantage. They're going to push the gunfight. Should be able to find at least the second here on Bin. Pentagon swings in. Kazar finds Bin, and I believe that's a team wipe. Very well done. This is what they needed to start this map well. Tiff, I am scared for this squad, but I'm also hopeful. They are slayers to their core. Pentagon was the top slayer out of the qualifiers. Play confidently, gentlemen. We'll see you at the LAN.
Vision looking for a clutch up here. Lenun down and out. Jukeyz will be flying back in after a gulag to come join the team, and Rez going out. That's really nice when you don't get your teammate folded. Vision hits the Rez, doubles down, immediately pushes for another squad wipe. Brilliantly done.
Tiff, all 50 teams are still in this lobby. Vision's already on 3 eliminations. It makes sense that Vision's our individual kill leader after 4 maps. 26 elims after 4, and already 3 showing. About to be the first player to break 30 eliminations on the entirety of Stage 2 EU Finals. Another squad that I wanted to shout out and keep eyes on was the winners of Stage 1 quals, which is this Maze team with Ghoul and Raz. They've swapped in their Maze teammate of Diablo this time around for Stage 2. They got 10th overall in Stage 1 finals. A very strong team that came online late in Stage 1, if we remember. They need to do that again. They're currently situated, and I think inside the 20s as well. So they need another big map here at around map 5. But this is where they came online last time, so I'm pretty hopeful and crossing my fingers that they'll do that again as well.
Jukeyz not going to be able to win that gulag, so teammates are going to have to buy them back. Wiz and Oak going up against Team Wars, who needed a big statement here in map number 5 in the Elim feed. But jumping on board is Blade, Savvy Ultra, Vortex. They typically love to go observatory. They found a good chunk of eliminations for the early game, and you look back to how their performance has been throughout our series so far. 70 points after map number 2, but since then only been able to find 24 points on the latter half of the series. So looking to be really consistent because teams are looking to chow for that top spot. And you said it earlier, 150K on the line, 30K for first place.
Yeah, great shout, Tiff. Look, here's the thing. We saw FIFA Kill Squad wipe Wars Squad. Wars was in 16th. They need to all win their gulags and grab their loadouts as quickly as humanly possible. All of a sudden, one of the most dominating teams from stage 1 is at risk of relegated and being sent to the LCQs.
I mean, that's scary, right? You're starting to think about what that last chance qualifiers will look like, and not many teams are going to be able to move on from that. Your easiest bet is going to be here, finding yourself in that top 15, and Squad 48 on your screen. Palooka and Co on the other side, getting lit up, able to dash back into the building, but is going to get knocked. So now the teammates are going to have to stand up in a 2v3 situation. Can they get the res? Does Palooka have a self? Whatever it is, they were not able to get fooled, and Floozy going to lose their life here in the midst.
This is a Palooka squad currently sitting in 15th. They are the bubble team. They're quite literally on the edge. They need to make sure they stay alive here. They had a very strong start. Haven't done much since. This is the Mad Lions team trying to make a name for themselves here on the global stages. Pinch between two different squads, but Team 48 getting peppered by Team 17 on the other side. And I don't know if Lyria can really do much about this encounter. This is going to be a really tough fight to take. You can see Team 17 is doing a fantastic job of setting one out in the back, playing anchor with high ground position. Goat and Clavsin playing a little bit more advanced position, making sure that their third can always see them, but they don't have to be too close because their third is giving the comms. Now we're going to swing over to another encounter. Piero Cod, first time appearing in World Series of Warzone this year. Of course, played last year. Does pick up Nobu from distance. And able to clean that up as well. Nice pick. That's a freebie. Write home about that one later. Let's tell you, this team, Tiff, got 8th in stage 1 without Piero. They were actually playing, I believe, with Showstopper. We ended up moving down to one of the other teams that we had talked about earlier. So some nice roster changes inside the top 25 is always fun to talk about.
Brilliant right there. Nice moves, dropping down from high ground, hitting the mobile buy station, getting back Vortex, and then just keep on moving forward. Because if you know, the moment you buy back a teammate, it shoots up the red flare and everyone will begin looking for you. Dire arm, 52, 42, I mean, my bad, my brain. Just don't know what happened there, but trying to stay alive here at the buy station. Good bit of the trophy system down, but when you've got a banger team on the other hand of this engagement, things are going to start to get a little spicy, but you do have the buy station.
Yeah, good luck, Dyreem. I think that's a full team of 3 pushing you. Yeah, see you later. Let's take a look at that mini-map over here on the right-hand side. The numbers we're looking for, Team 21, that's Savvy Ultras. You saw them there. The other one I was going to point out, that Team Jukeyz inside the top 5 was the team taking down that squad there by the radio tower. Vision is going to look around the corner and see another squad that we've mentioned, Controlled Deck on the fringe, is at risk of being relegated, needing a massive game. Tiff, when you need a massive game, and Team Jukeyz is pushing you, it doesn't bode well, is all I'm going to say.
It really doesn't. There are 50 teams in this lobby, and I run into Jukeyz as one of the first engagements that I've got to take. Control deck, look at that, jumping from one building to the next. But this building that Lenun and Co are working from is a very strong building. You can keep an eyesight on the buy station and deny teams the ability to utilize that buy, whether they're looking for a loadout, whether you want a buyback. This is not a bad area to play because all the elims will come to you, and you can see Zamza taking to the roof of where Lenun is. Pops a daddy. All right, let's see how this is gonna go. Outnumbered. Not good. Not good.
Yeah, I mean, Lenun by himself was going to have to win the 1v2 by using the Teddy, and it was a risky play. The team's able to get out and probably buy back quickly, so they're not going to lose too much in the process, and was just trying to risk it for the biscuit to grab some extra elims. And speaking of risking it for the biscuit, Brandon maybe grabbed one quick biscuit, but not the second. Does grab a trade, gets eliminated, and now PD Squad, another team that needs to big breakout turning. Look, I'm going to keep saying that over and over again, this map, Tip, because, well, in all reality, every single team besides the top like 5 needs a big breakout game to secure their spot to the global land. It is totally up in the air still, but this squad in particular sitting at 16th currently, all having been burned their gulags already. They got team wiped earlier. We saw it off screen. They've got an opportunity here to push inside the top 15 if they can just have some sort of a semblance of a good game.
I mean, they're looking to be outside the top 15 by 1.2 points. That's tough, Goj. That is where we will see hearts break when they get relegated to that last chance qualifier solely based off of maybe not getting a full elimination in an earlier engagement. Now that we're into map 5, this is where you have to lay your heart on the line and play the best game of Warzone that you ever have.
It comes down to confidence. You know, we've heard it several times from several different parties. Confidence is key, but it also comes down to clear communication that you execute on. Sometimes the IGL has to make a call, and whether you believe in it or not, you full send and do it as a team, because anytime you do something as a team in Warzone, you have such a higher % chance of winning those encounters. And anybody will echo that sentiment that has found their way to the top 15 is when they're playing together as a team, they're winning. Now, AB Wiz has been taken out by a signal 50 from distance, and FIFA Kills in a similar position, in trouble from distance, out in the open with little to no cover. Sounds like a couple people are running signal 50 this time around.
I mean, it's not a bad weapon, right? It shoots really quick, does a lot of damage, and if you're looking for those mid-range engagements and trying to be the anchor for your team, it's beautifully done. Benno on your screen, over here just on the outskirts of Observatory, kind of surrounded. Vortex on your right, sandwiched. Drill charge is going out, looking for the push. Vortex seems to be the only person alive from that team, trying to get out of dodge, and they may just be able to do it.
Oh, this is a big moment. This is Meeks & Co. versus Vortex. This is first versus second. We haven't given Meeks enough credit. They've been sitting inside the top 5 since map 2, and they haven't left it, and they don't intend to leave it anytime soon, as they're about to take out their only competition at the top, at least the team in front of them. Vortex last alive for his squad. This will likely be a team wipe unless Vortex somehow hasn't been to the gulag and the rest of his team has. Vortex is gone, and I don't see the team wipe coming through, so maybe, just maybe, it's not over. Oh no, Savvy Ultra's still alive. There they are. Everybody's still up. Okay. I got a little sweaty there for a moment. I thought our leaders were going to be out, but still a massive take for Meeks & Co. from second, taking down 1 and first, and putting their first place team in a bit of a retreat. Should bode well. I was going to say, this is the first time Savvy Ultra Squad may not win that Observatory POI, aside from, of course, that fourth drop that they only had 2 players on.
Yeah, buyback came in strong, so they're back up to a 3-man stack. But I will say I want to highlight how Team Meeks went about that push. You saw they knew exactly where that last player was for the time being and waited for the teammates to have the ability to push. Numbers advantage. Now Zathu on your screen, firing down to Be Groovy, Quirky. If I'm Be Groovy & Co., knowing that I am not where I want to be just yet, this is not going to be great.
Yeah, Be Groovy's team got 5th overall in the quals, and they're just quite literally fish in a barrel. Not even the idiom, like literally swimming around in the water like fish. Rakes has 6 eliminations already using the signal 50. Things certainly have gone their way with the sniper. Looking to execute through water, almost able to finish it off, but this should be no problem. Team Quirky going to be fully eliminated here, likely. This is a team that had some fun storylines. They really underperformed, shifted around their roster, picked up a couple new players, and I thought they were going to have a big tourney, and unless Quirky can somehow swim out of this, which might be possible, I think they might be done and dusted.
It's really tough, Goj. They were a bubble team sitting in 18th place prior to map number 5. And if you're just trying to dolphin dive away, swim, disengage, it is really tough, because as soon as you connect with that signal 50, it shoots so quick. You can like kind of lead your shot and look for that. But jumping on board with Meeks, 2nd place. Oak in the sight line, being pinched by Tojor. And if you can just take that engagement from the mid-range with the Cronin and do it at a distance where you are safe and essentially gatekeep. Yeah, they were able to grab the knock. Looks like he's back up on his feet.
It's a great position for now. They should be able to clean up. Everybody else rotating in. Oki's done. Toshio should come through here in a second. There it is. Great spot to hold that team advancing. The question is there anyone else alive on those squads to regain, or is that the end of FIFA Kill's team in this map? They should be fine in terms of top 15. They were sitting in third right behind Meeks' team, but a great finish on Oki. Here goes your leaders, all three still up, and guess who's right behind them, or rather right underneath them? That's Team Jukeyz pushed up into Observatory. This team, Team 21, Vortex's squad, has been sitting in Observatory since the beginning of this game, and I don't think they have any intention to leave until the zone forces them out, which it might not force them out at all.
I mean, if we get an Observatory ending, that would be really interesting to think about all the teams that would need to rotate into Observatory up those hills. It's a great POI to land in, very akin to when you think back to Caldera and you have all of those POIs that were central zone, barely elevated. And this is the same thing that we're going to be witnessing, but rotating in, it is literally climbing mountains trying to make something happen. And as soon as you take ultimate high ground, you will just get picked apart. You see where that zone is essentially pulling towards. Not a lot of teams over by the marshlands, more so on the outside of it, but I'm assuming that's where some teams will get held.
Yeah, I was about to shout. I was looking at the map looking for Team 2. They're still in it. This is the team in 16th place overall, and the team in second, Meeks' team, trying to hammer down their advantage, holding the high ground position and pick off these players from distance. Prodigy playing a little bit of bait on the left-hand side in gas, maybe trying to get a pick. Hasn't seen him yet, though, as they chase down Wars and King AJ. This could be a gnarly flank from behind. It's going to have to be a 1v3 for Prodigy, though, unless King AJ could turn around and help, and there's a chance this could be a massive swing if they didn't see Prodigy flank. A free pick? Yes? No? Maybe so. It's close. Nothing yet, though. Here comes Prodigy right behind.
Oh, but someone is just behind Prodigy now as well. Maybe they've sussed him out.
It's one.
Benno down. Sanctify doubling down. Knows that there is a flanker trying to get a line of sight on it. But this will give the other two members of this squad time to push in.
Flawlessly executed plan. They've regrouped. They've gained advantage. Sanctify trying to stop the bleeding. But it's King AJ, the king of 5 out of 6 maps. Almost was the individual kill leader before Jukeyz. A perfect swing the moment they needed to break inside the top 15. They've taken down a team in second in a very tough fight. Flawlessly executed flank from Prodigy. They were able to grab player advantage. That's going to be one that we would have cracked the code with Enigma. You're going to learn from that play. That was 5-head. We'll see that one later and maybe on our telestrator. We'll see. Let's take a look at some of our other teams trying to rotate in, though, as Savvy Ultras and Co. finally out of Observatory, making their way down to, well, a pretty decent spot, actually, inside of the next zone. There's another team here, but they've got plenty of room to work with.
Yeah, I called out the marshlands as being one of those POIs that was going to be a lot of congestion on that rotation. And for the teams that have made it there first, Savvy Ultras and Co., one of them now playing a little game of chance here on the stairwise, smoking out the inner buildings, rotating throughout, just trying to push on to that team Aydan. And you can see Heeds, Aydan in the distance. Looks like they just got the buyback, though.
Savvy Ultra is doing exactly what he needs to do. Unfortunately, teammates aren't there to help out in time. They've lost Savvy. They've got to wipe this team. Team 3, Heeds and Co. Get Gromalok out of this lobby now. There's going to be third parties here in the next 90 seconds or so if they don't move quickly. They've pushed Team 3 out, but they're not willing to take the 2v3 and probably the smart play in order to stay alive. We still have 28 teams up, Tiff. This is a crucial linchpin fight because this is the high ground. This is the best piece of cover. You want this POI, but you gotta win it. Will you find Grom? Yes, that's one. Can we find the other two, though? In trouble. Vortex trying to get out of dodge and is able to do so only for a moment. Sneaking out the window, isolating the 1v1s, takes down Heeds. It's a 1v1 situation for the final piece of cover. Vortex playing his life like he's a professional, and well, maybe that's because he is. 1, 2, can we find it? Cleans it up. Found the 1v1. Vortex is showing us why he was a World Series of Warzone 2022 winner and gets the buyback. Unbelievable performance from our team at the top, and the fight has not concluded yet, but he's gonna make it look like it's done. Finds one. Gromalok last alive, but Vortex got the buy. That was chaos.
That was a masterclass on movement, of knowledge of the building scape, utilizing smokes, grabbing the buyback, then pushing the issue. And even with Aydan laying down, preemptively looking at that doorway, waiting for the push, still lost that engagement. Of course, a 1v2, that trade's going to come in, but the buyback impeccable. Ben falling here on main as well. Showstopper riding that line of gas, trying to push in, but with people all around holding that line of sight, going to fall as well. But now you asked for it, Goes. You asked for some water engagements, and it's cord on your screen. A former map winner, Zach, in the dead center of the marshlands.
It's looking like Florida out here in the marshlands. Tiff, people are swimming. Are there any crocodiles out here? We'll see. Oh, we got some pistols. We're taking the water fights. Uh-oh. Zach gets pointed out. Likely pinged, and it's eliminated, but Hollow and Cord are still hanging out here in the water. Ghoul also swimming around like a shark or an alligator or whatever you want to call it. There's enough people in this area, though, that they are shooting the signal flares up in the skies, rather, for people to turn their eyes down towards the water. But if you've got a pistol in the water, you win every single time if your opponent can't shoot. Strong, a team Tiff that was near the top of the leaderboard early, starting to fall out of favor on the leaderboard at the very least. I think a decent map thus far, having to push in a really tough rotation here. You've got Team 49 holding down an edge. A ton of teams trying to rotate in. Team 13, that's Hollow. They're not really holding that position well. That's Cord that was in the water. And finally, Cord gets taken out.
See, we're talking about locations on the map that might be great to play endgame, but are not good right now. Sure, you can hide for a little bit, but you're not going to be able to hide forever. And Too Strong on 5 eliminations. Nade spamming immediately, knowing someone was up there trying to connect. Now pushing the issue is going to be Solitude. Beautifully done for the team there. Now you've got the high ground just on the outskirts of the zone. You can focus on playing forward, but with that being said, look at all the loadouts that are in the water. So let's say you can get there early, grab your pistols, and prepare for the end game. But the teams on the right, the teams on the bridge that have high ground will find the majority of success here.
Yeah, this is a massive rotation. Strong was there, Solitude rather, was able to play inside the gas with the gas mask and the signal to give information on where to go for Team 36. Fantastic wrap. We're inside the top 15, and guess who's still alive? Savvy Ultra's dead center of zone, hanging out on a bush, just waiting, biding their time. If Savvy can hold on till the top 10, Savvy Ultras will likely push their way up and maintain the top spot on the leaderboard because of the heroic plays of Vortex. We'll check in back with our Bushwookie here in a moment, as there's a couple other swimmers hanging around. Robstar swimming, Solitude now making a play into the water, Inxian's in a bush right next to Savvy. But this team right here, Team 43, they also have all 3 alive. It's Team 7 I'm looking at. I think that's Shucks, dead center of zone, in cover with all 3 alive. Team 7 the best position currently, but there's so many teams still alive that they can get swarmed quickly if everybody vies for that position.
And I love that you highlight them, Goj, because they need a massive win just outside the top 20 coming in this game. If they can put up a north of 25 points, it will change the trajectory of this series for them. But Lenun getting caught off guard by Kubi. They are significantly playing these areas, the peaks. They're going in, reloading, and then re-pushing. Lenun already down. This spells danger for Jukeyz and co.
We're inside the top 10. I believe Savvy Ultra's got taken out in 11th, but still a great map. Jukeyz team vying and jockeying for the best position on the map in the final couple circles. It's going to come down to where this zone pulls. Kubi was playing so patient and not playing aggressive enough to take down one of Jukeyz members. If he just ego-chowed one of those fights, I think Jukeyz team would be at 2, and Jukeyz gets the perfect zone pull. They have high ground position. They're on top of the rooftops. Shucks is in trouble getting pushed by another team. They'll win that gunfight, but it's Jukeyz team with by far the best position on the map. A perfect zone pull and all 3 up Tiff. Something catastrophic has to happen for Jukeyz not to win this map.
35th place after map 1, and they have been fighting against everything in their nature to climb back to the top spot on the leaderboard, and they could do it after map number 5. You're right, Goj, this is their game to win. 5 eliminations for Jukeyz. You think back to the stage 1 qualifiers, 50 eliminations, the top Elim, doing it for their family, and I cannot wait because this zone pool is going to be beautiful for them.
And you can see Zamsa control deck. Another team outside the top 15 make it inside the top 3. Do get taken out by Team 7. The 2 teams we shouted out have made it to the final fight. It's a 3v2, and one team has high ground. The other team's got zone at their back. Depending on durables, they might be able to outlast the next zone. Jukeyz gets aggressive and finds pace. That is all she wrote, Tiv. I can only imagine this is going to be a 3v1 that goes to the side of Jukeyz, and bada bing, bada boom. Vision on 10.
doing everything that they needed to do. You see the player hanging back, holding that anchor, allowing Jukeyz and Vision to excel forward. Lenun, man, that was beautifully done, able to win that moment. And Jukeyz finally, after 5 maps, they had to wait. Map number 5 finally coming in, getting the victory. I can only imagine what this is going to play on the leaderboard for them.
Ice in the veins. Let's see the victory moment here on main stage.
Knocked. Good kill, finish.
Hey, well, the only free man. Yo, all right, ground the palace.
Shield cracked.
Weak. No push, stay.
I'm not pushing.
5 remaining.
2v3, 3v2. Yeah, that's what I mean.
I've got right, they're in this building, they're in the white shack.
He's gonna smoke it, must be, bro. No.
Might not give it, you know.
Nice, one more.
Where is he? Can't find him.
Right, palace.
Fucking go, bro.
Fucking go, boys.
Fucking go, man.
Fuck off of us.
Fucking go.
Fucking go, baby. Get the fuck off of us, man.
Fucking go, bro.
Well, we didn't get to see the total, but Tiff, I